So we'll just run through some of my photos now. This is variegated wren or purpleback, redback, whatever, purpleback.
Purpleback prairie wren.
This is the same bird that Wayne took. Was just in a I kind of had a better position on where we were taking it, but that was up at Hopen when we had a bit of a field trip. And there's, if anyone's interested, there is a really good bird hide up there for public use as well. It's really quite good. Yeah. That was taken down at Old Lake. That was taken a little while ago. That was eating a cicada. That was probably about, you were down with me that day. It was probably 40 metres away that bird, I reckon, if not a bit more.
Been cropped, you know.
It was cropped pretty hard, but it held up pretty good. That was taken in the almond tree next door at home. Just look out the front door and there it is, chewing away. And I do look forward to every year having the yellowtails fly in. I've spoken to the neighbour about not cutting his almond tree down because
it attracts them.
It attracts them, yeah. That's a white-plumed honey eater. That was, I think that one was taken out at John's little bird hide he had out at Halls Gap, if I remember right.
At Wimmera.
At Wimmera, yeah. So they're a nice little bird. They come in, well, as soon as you put water on the ground, and they're normally first ones there. European goldfinch, that was taken in town. They're a nice bird actually. St Kilda supported, yeah. So that's a male bird. St Kilda bird. No, they're really nice little bird. They like getting onto the big thistles, the thistles with the big purple flowers. They just love those. So if you see them, the thistles, they're not far behind. Get the seeds out of them. Same bird. That's taken out of a bird hide, that one. So, and that's cropped pretty hard. If you look really close into his eye, you'll probably see the camera lens. So we weren't too far away from them, but we'll get onto the bird hides a little bit later on. That's a, let me think. Tell me what it is. Goshawk, that's right.
Grey goshawk.
Goshawk. That was out at on Pomona Road at the feedlot. There was a nest of them out there, and that was one of the parents. No, I think that might be one of the young ones. Yeah, there was two of them, and he just pops out. They're pretty flighty. So that was taken out of the car. Just parked the car there, and took the photos out of the window. Little female fairy wren. That was another one of those long distance kind of hope shots, and it came up quite well in the end. They're just hopping around a bit of a stump. That was out at Lake Lonsdale, that one. A puddleope. That was taken at Lonsdale as well. I think you were at that day, Greg. That was when we were out at Lonsdale.
When you're doing the teams.
We were doing the teams thing. So he's just a close-up. He was enjoying himself, flying back in. And we had a bit of a challenge that day trying to get it coming out of the hole, but that was...
More of a challenge.
That was a challenge. Couple of budgies, male and female. Male's got the red nose and the female's got the dull brown nose. They were in town. They kind of followed the Crimson Chats down from the middle of Australia, so they're kind of a very rare sight, and they were in town. Those two. They didn't stay around long, but lucky we got a couple of photos of them. Diamond Firetail, one of my favourites. He's got his bit of grass in in his mouth. They'll in the breeding season they'll fly around with a bit of grass and bounce up and down on a stick, trying to dance to his female to attract her in and try and hope he gets lucky. But no, they're a nice. I really like them birds. Just a scarlet kingfisher. He was
Sacred.
sorry.
Sacred. Yeah.
He was taken out Lake Lonsdale as well with a dragonfly in his mouth. Nightjar. Now that's one I haven't seen before, and I was lucky enough to photograph, and I've got poor Wayne sitting next to me hoping one day that he's gonna find one and
Yeah, I haven't
get one.
seen.
But that was just a pot luck. I was just walking along and I seen just out of the corner of my eye something move. It's like out of a hollow log. It wasn't hollow though, it just popped up in the branch and sat there in the middle of the day.
Yet to see one.
You get to see one. Because I think they're Australia's smallest owl too. They're not really, probably the size of a magpie, they're not really big at all. They've got those great big, huge eyes. And there's another photo of him. He just changed positions. And again. But no, it was a good find. Crimson Chat, that one was taken in town. No, so there was a pair of them, same as the budgies, there's just the two of them we were seen, and they hung around for a while, and then they kind of, not really sure if they all went back up in the middle of Australia, or they kind of disappeared down this end of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nice bird. Diamond Firetail again with his bit of grass. That's a different bird. But yeah, it's nice to get, as you can see, the blurred out background is the way to go, because at the end of the day, it's the bird's your focus, not the background. Just make him stick out of the background. Another one, same. Now that's a redback, I reckon, kingfisher, which is another bird that's not normally
Not normally around here.
He's kind of had a good year last year with the budgies and crimson chats and this young fella, or old fella, and we think there was a nest, or he appeared to be going in and out of a nesting hole. What
Yeah,
was in that hole, we're still not sure, but a couple of weeks later we'd seen, it was you and John found, there's 3 or 4 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
So we're assuming they might have had young.
Yeah, young ones, yeah. Bit hard to get close to
Yeah.
though, a bit flighty.
A bit flighty. You could use your calls to, you couldn't call them in, but they called back to you, so you could,
Yeah,
you'd have an idea where they were to go looking. Rainbow Beta, sitting on the perch. He wasn't far from getting ready to take off. He's another bird you look forward to coming in every year, just something different. And there's one in flight. That was taken in town as well. That was getting on dark, that bird. To get him in flight, I think it was shooting about 3,500. I think it was about, shutter speed was about 3.5.
yeah.
I reckon ISO was up, it was getting up around 4,000 or more. But it was, it came up pretty well. Another kingfisher. I think that might have been at Lonsdale as well. A nice little bird there. It's the same thing. You can call them and they won't fly into you, but they'll call out and you can track them down that way. He's what's that one? The Weebill.
Yeah.
And notice how the tail rolls out of focus and the eye's sharp. And the first thing you look at with that photo is the eye. You don't worry about too much about the out of focus background of it and the tail. Little blue wren. Notice This is probably one of my earlier photos where I was just happy snapping, which is, that's what you do. And it's a bit cluttery, but it's still a nice photo. Another little partelope with a little, looks like probably a mosquito just taken out along Lake Lonsdale. Mayfly, yeah, could be a mayfly.
Yeah, one of the up there, big insects.
Yeah. But yeah,
Could be, yeah.
you can get reasonably close to them when you find their nest. They normally nest in the sandy kind of ground, and there's a spot out Lonsdale. If you sit up above them, they'll fly out of the nest up into the same tree all the time, and they'll take off from there and come back to that same tree with their food. So you can get reasonably close to them. Another bee-eater. I don't mind kind of taking a portrait shot of a lot of the birds. I quite like getting up close to them. Crimson Chat, that was taken up at Hopeton with a canola field, I reckon, was in the background.
Yeah.
So with the canola just starting to flower, and they were nesting happily in the field. I don't know how many nests come out of that field after the farmer was going to take the crop
Cropped
off.
them there too. Destroys them all.
Same bird, or different bird, same place. But yeah, they were really good to see. If you ever get the chance again, hopefully we don't get the chance again, because they kind of come down this way trying to survive more than anything, but well worth the look. Another same kingfisher, that's the same bird. Red-backed kingfisher, you can see a bit more of the red in his back. Got a few kingfisher balls, but yeah. There's another one, that's out at Lonsdale again. Same bird. That's the same bird, but he just changed positions into a different background, and just makes a completely different photo. Yeah, it brings out the blues.
Does,
Yeah,
and
They just-
hampers it.
yeah. There's even a bit of blood in the beak by the looks of it. He's had a bit of food. That's a black honeyeater, black-headed honeyeater. That was taken in town too. It's the first time I've seen him. So it's not the greatest of shots, but yeah, I haven't seen them around before, so it was a new one for me to find.
They had a young one too, didn't they? Yeah.
And yeah, most of my birds are 80% of my birds will be local, within 30 kilometres of town, and that was taken just as the sun was just starting to go down behind the hill.